The basketball world, and the world at large, is still coming to grips with the loss of Kobe Bryant. Celebrity deaths can be jarring. Larger-than-life talents enter the picture, they amass accolades and admirers the world over, and we begin to view them as immortal. And then they're taken from us. And we're reminded just how fragile life is, especially when that life is lost in the tragic way Bryant's was, in a helicopter crash that claimed 9 souls, Kobe and his 13-year-old daughter Gianna among them.
Everything I learned came from Kobe. Everything. Take Kobe away, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have love. I wouldn't have the passion, the drive. Everything came from him.
Kobe's death hit differently because of how present he still was, how full of life he remained, even in retirement. On Saturday night, hours before his death, Kobe's name dominated headlines after LeBron James passed the Lakers legend on the NBA's all-time scoring list.
There's James, goes across the lane, lays it up, and lays it in. And there it is. He just became the 3rd leading scorer in NBA history, passing Kobe Bryant. Another milestone for the great LeBron James.
A courtside conversation with Gianna, whose pursed lips and clenched jaw were so patently Mamba in that moment, went viral only weeks ago. In the years since his retirement, Bryant became a best-selling children's author and won an Academy Award. There was every reason to believe Bryant would remain a constant figure in the game of basketball and in popular culture. We all assumed that despite the fact he'd left the court, the Black Mamba would remain a fixture in our lives. Kobe's basketball legacy was the stuff of legend. Born in Philadelphia to Joe Jellybean Bryant and raised in Italy, Kobe went on to become a preps to pros superstar, a 5-time NBA champion, a 2-time Finals MVP, an 18-time All-Star. He scored more than 39,000 points and logged more than 57,000 minutes between the regular season and playoffs over a 20-year career. He was among the most brash and absolutely relentless competitors sports has ever seen. You know the moments. You know that scowl. Jaw jutting out, time ticking away, eyes locked on a prize that seemed only he could visualize in front of him.
I didn't care who was out there in front of me, and my job was to try to make your night absolutely miserable. That was my mindset, honestly. I came out there to destroy you.
Kobe's game, shot profile, and demanding nature when it came to his teammates wasn't for everyone. But if he was polarizing in his prime, Bryant won over some of his doubters in the latter stages of his career. How could you not marvel at his stoicism in the face of a ruptured Achilles, the various injuries he battled back from, and that unforgettable 60-point performance in his final act?
60.
It was in retirement that Bryant truly became universally beloved. And it's hard not to tie that shift in opinion, at least in part, to the genuine joy he showed in being a father. What could possibly be more relatable than a parent's love for their children? If we're going to discuss his off-court legacy, Bryant's low point can't be washed away. He was accused of sexual assault in 2003, and though the criminal case was dropped, he and his accusers settled a civil case out of court. This disturbing period can't be ignored. It's part of Kobe Bryant's life story. Lay it bare and acknowledge that he was a flawed man who made mistakes. You can do that while also acknowledging that he seemed to grow as a human being in the years since. His death leaves a gaping hole the NBA can never fill. Wherever you rank Kobe among the greatest of players, there's no debate he's among the most beloved and influential, leaving behind multiple generations of stars mentored by either working with him or simply by watching him. To those players, Kobe, his Mamba mentality, the aura around him, all of it is gospel. It's impossible to overstate how big of an icon he was and how monumental his impact on the sport remains. At the end of his Dear Basketball letter that inspired his Oscar-winning animated short, Bryant reminded us that he will always be that kid with the rolled-up socks in his hands, garbage can in the corner, 5 seconds on the clock. What he didn't mention is the name every wannabe Mamba in every corner of the earth will shout as that make-believe clock winds down and they fade away with a ball, crumpled paper, or sock about to leave their hands. The one name made for such moments. the one name he ensured we will never forget.